Hello Flosstube and Happy New Year. It's Amy, also known as Aussie Stitcher in Texas, here with you in this new year of January 2024 with my December update. I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and joining me on this journey. Here we'll be giving an update on everything I stitched on in the month of December. So some of it you may have seen in the Whip Parade, but I have worked on some more pieces a little bit more since then, and also some projects you haven't seen from that Whip Parade. But again, thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing to my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you continue to like the content you see and that you hang around. But let's get into it. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Like I said, I hope everyone had a phenomenal New Year's Eve. If you are recovering, I hope you didn't party too hard. No judgment to you if you did. My body can't do it anymore. To be honest, my body could never do it. I'm just not somebody who can do that. I very much enjoy the quiet life, but Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to those who celebrated. I hope everyone had a great one and was able to celebrate with friends or family, or however you happen to celebrate it. I'm quite lucky and I do have family in the United States, even though I am Australian and I live in Texas. I do have family here up in the Northeast, and I was able to go and visit them, aunts, uncles, my grandmother is still around, and my cousins. It was great to see everybody. My cousins, not as much for some of them, you know, they're back from college, so they tend to spend time with their friends when they're home, but nonetheless, great to see them for as long as I did. But let's get into what I worked on in December. I worked on 9 projects this month. I finished a project and I started a new project. So let's start with my finish. I finished my very first soda stitch. It is the pop-up store Bookstore. Here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. So in November, I was close to a finish. I had about 1,000 stitches left to go. But here is the finish. Look at it. It is so cute. I absolutely love this. It is stitched on a 40 count Verdal in the color Sand Dollar by BeStitchMe. So little, you know, that's my hand. It is stitched 1/2 using all the called for DMC, lots of back stitch. It is basically full coverage. This is white that you see in here. So from here to here, it's all full coverage. But I think that back stitch makes it look absolutely amazing. What helped me with the back stitch, I think, was that I back stitched as I went. So it wasn't just, you know, plain and then at the end I had to do all the back stitching. I back stitched as I went. And I think that's the way to go for me. So cute. I love this. Not sure how I'm going to finish it. I do have a couple more of the, well, actually I have one more of the pop-up stores from BeStitchMe. I think that either the candy store or the cafe is what I have. Not from BeStitchMe, sorry, from Soda Stitch. I have the cafe, which I will do on the same fabric, so I can have them either together or just I'll finish them similar, you know what I mean. Oh. But that is my finish. So that brought my finishes up to 12 for 2023, which I'm so happy with. Not sure I'll be able to get those kinds of numbers for 2024. I do have a lot of bigger projects that I'm working on, but I definitely want to make a big dent in everything. So let's move on to my new start. So I finish a soda stitch and I decided to start a soda stitch. I am working on the butterfly elf. 1 second, I left the printout. I will go and get it. Okay, I'm back. So for you, that would have been, you know, a nice transition, but for me, I had to run across the room. So I'm working on Butterfly Elf from Soda Stitch. I'm actually just working on this one here. So this is going to be a gift for a friend of mine's niece. I had stitched up the Bella Filipina mermaid for her mother, and she wanted something, and I thought I'm not going to do something that big for an 8-year-old, so I let her choose from these, and she chose this one over here. So I am stitching that just on a 28 count Monaco from Michaels, using all the called for DMC, and here is what I'm up to. So I am almost done with all of the cross stitching, and I have just started a little bit of the back stitch there. But I think she is so cute. I might end up doing more of these. I do have a very tight margin on this side. I just kind of misjudged where the middle was. This is why I normally will just stitch from like the full piece of fabric. I don't like cutting the fabric. I thought I was smarter than I am with this piece, but I'll still have, you know, I'll have about an inch, and I think I'm doing a flat fold finish for this. So I think I'll have enough to finish it. It's just a little bit tighter than I would like. And this is in a nudge hoop, if anyone's interested. I've just got it on its side so that I can have a little bit more. I needed a little bit more width than length. But she's so cute. This, I mean, I've only worked on this for about 4 days, I think. And part of that while I was visiting family. So a little bit distracted. But I just think she's so cute. And, you know, hopefully I'll have her finished in January, and then finished and then ready. Her birthday's in March. So I hope we'll be able to get it all done by then. So that's my new start. I also have kind of a restart. So if you watched my video from November, I had started Country Magic Stitch Visit Narnia, which is this piece here. And I had started it on a 28 counts doing 2/1 tent stitch. And I was struggling, to be honest. I just wasn't, it didn't feel natural. I was losing my place with where I was. Didn't help that I started, I used white fabric and it started with white. So it just, you know, that just didn't help the situation, but I also just wasn't enjoying it. And I find with me, if I'm not enjoying the stitch, I'm not going to work on it, or it will be, I'll have to force myself to work on it and then I won't enjoy it. So I had decided to restart this. So I'll just show you both because I'm using the same piece of fabric. I just flipped it. So this is the tent stitch side. I got about 400 stitches. I'm going to zoom in because it's 2/1 tent. So, I mean, it doesn't look bad in tent stitch. I just, the process of it was really confusing to me. So I decided to restart it, just 1/1 full cross. Yes, it will take me longer because it's doing a full cross, but I'm much happier. So I've done 800 stitches on this, and it is super tiny and I absolutely love it. This is using all the called for DMC, except I am using Anchor Black for the black because I have some and I need to use it. But so cute, so tiny, and just, you know, I think it will be, you know what, I'm not even going to speculate, but I'll just frog this out, pull this out on this side, and use this piece. So that is my restart of that. I'm trying to put things away as I go so that I don't have a big mess to deal with and that I can just get on with stitching for the day as this uploads. Okay, my next piece was my Whipco. So the Whipco calls for December. I can't remember the numbers, but they, oh no, I have them in front of me. So they were 12 and 20. 20 for me was to work on my Dark Queen of the Earth, and I've actually finished that project. So that was just, you know, marked off. I didn't replace it with anything else. So that was done. And then the other one was to work on Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I'm going to say that slow because it's a mouthful. Here's what it looks like. The Whipco was to work on this for 3 days. So I did that. Here's what it looks like the last time that you saw it. Oh, I'm creating an avalanche over here. And here is what it looks like now. Oh, I've completely messed this up. I'm gonna bring it back. Okay. So it's a long piece. I'll bring it in close for you to see. It is stitched on a 32 count white opalescent. I think it's called Snow. I'll have it in the notes below if you're interested, using all the called for DMC. Can you see the sparkle? Yeah, you can. Great, absolutely beautiful. I was enabled to work on this by Holly, the cross stitch addict. She had been working on it and she's since finished it. And I loved it. It's something about the colors. And these aren't really my colors. I quite like blues. And I mean, this is kind of a tealy color or a turquoise. I don't know. I'm more of a blue person, but these colors work so well together. And so it is a really kind of gripping piece and I really like it. So that was my Whipco call. I completed Whipco for 2023, which I'm very proud of myself for doing. Whipco is something that just really works for me to help me you know, sometimes I just don't know what to work on for the month, and at least that takes the decision away for me for 2 pieces per month. Okay, next up on the pile, we have the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. Here is what it will look like. Oh, I'll try to get the glare. When it's finished, this is part of A Year in the Woods, which I have this one and the reindeer, which I'll show you in my haul. I am doing this using the DMC conversion. I've been hearing, and I've seen on Flosstube and Facebook, some people who have used the fancy floss, because you know dye lots change with fancy floss. The bright orange has been a bit muted, and I wanted the brightness of this. If I haven't shown you already, here's what she looked like the last time you saw it. And oh, this is the back. That's not going to help anybody. Here's what she looked like now. So that bright orange you see, some people were getting just the dye lot, you know, luck of the draw, a more muted orange, and I like the brightness. I have named her Delilah. Do not ask me why. She just looks like a Delilah to me, which I suppose would mean this should be called the Vixen, not the Fox, but it's so pretty, and it stitches so fast. Stitches up so fast. Absolutely love it. And this is stitched on a 32 count Gunmetal by BeStitchMe. I have called it other things in other videos, but I found the little plastic packaging that it came in from the Black Needle Society box I got. So I can confirm this is Gunmetal by BeStitchMe. I don't believe it's part of her normal, like regular line, because I did look on her website and it wasn't there. I'm thinking of contacting her though to see if it is or might become it, because I would like to work on the same color for the reindeer, because they are kind of companion pieces. Okay, what's next on the pile? Let's go to, oh my God, I'm blanking and it's right in front of me. Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. This is my push for a finish piece. Here's what it'll look like when it's finished. I would like to have this finished before Halloween of 2020, of this year, because I want to hang it up for Halloween. So in order to do that, I need to work on it for about 1,000 stitches per month to get it done by September, and then have time to finish it by Halloween, which is my goal. Here's what it looks like the last time you saw it. And here is what it looks like now. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I worked on the kind of crow or raven motif, this flower, the owl, and then I think this little motif here. So let me bring it in close. This is on a 40 count Verdal in the color Tsunami by BeStitchMe. And I am using the called for classic colorworks for the fancy floss. And then the DMC is a mix, the black is a mix of DMC 310, Anchor Black, some sulkies in different weights. And before settling on Anchor Black is what I'm going to be using. For the fancy floss, I think I've decided I no longer want to buy fancy floss online. I want to see it before I buy it, because the fancy floss I have, particularly for, oh, I dropped it. Okay, how the fabric just fell away. So the fancy floss, particularly for this color, is very different than pictured. So pictured, it's much darker. And I mean, like people were getting with, so that one and then that one. Like people were getting with the Fox, mine's just more muted. And it's not terrible, I just wish I like the vibrant one a little bit better. I'm not gonna rip it out, I'm not gonna replace it, I'm not going to kind of buy another skein and then have, you know, another color in the mix. But I just think from now on, I'm going to only buy fancy flosses by going to my L&S, the Stitch Niche, and seeing them with my own eyes. And if they don't have it, maybe I'll try and look for an alternative so I can see it and get the closest that I can. The other colors seem okay, like the purple looks great, the orange looks great. It's just that kind of bluey gray that I kind of think I just got a different dye lot, which is, you know, it happens. Okay. So that is Halloween Quaker. Next up is my Castle Homecoming from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is a stitch along, and here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. It's still going, so I don't have what it looks like, what it will look like when it's finished. But here's where I'm up to. So I have not finished the most current part. This is using all the called for on a 32 count Belfast linen in the color of Valor by Picture This Plus. And I am going to put this away for a little while. This is a potential UFO. It's just not, it's not bringing me joy right now. I don't know if it's because I'm stitching a lot of gray. Because it's a stitch along, you know, I do find with some of the stitch alongs I've done, sometimes there's just, you know, one part you don't love. So then it kind of puts a little wah-wah in it for me. And then, you know, maybe the next part will bring back that love. So I'm gonna put it away for now, see how I feel when the next parts come out. And maybe I will finish it, maybe I won't. Whatever will be, will be. I just don't want to force myself to work on it and then lose my stitchy bug potentially. So she's going to become a passive whip, as Frizzy Lizzy Stitches calls them. But, you know, I'm not throwing it out or anything. She's just gonna be put in timeout for a little bit. Okay, my second last whip that I worked on for the month of December is Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. Here's what it will look like when it's finished. Because it was the season of Christmas, I was feeling Christmassy. Here's what it looks like the last time that you saw it. And I do apologize, this is not ironed. I just pulled this off the Q-snap, but I'm gonna try and hide some of the wrinkles for you. This is on a 40 count Verdal by BeStitchMe in the color Boneyard. So it's got some kind of blues and creams to it. I just thought it looked great for a wintry Christmas piece. And I have done the top tray completely and most of this second tiered tray. And I absolutely love this. It is stitching up so fast, so much block color. The only kind of bare that I can say was just doing these snowflakes, which was just a couple of snowflakes. And that's just a personal thing for me. I don't like carrying my thread too far. So it was a lot of stopping and starting, but they're not, it looks great. I'm doing all the called for. I did change some of the white for Etoile white. So this cup is in the Etoile, and you can't really tell, but Santa's like the fur that would be on his hat and like the cuffs of his jacket and pants, I did in the Etoile too. But otherwise it's all the called for. And I'm doing all the stitching as I go, and then I will at the end, this is a banner, so I'll add the back stitch at the end because these are long stitches and I don't want to have to worry about them getting caught in anything while I'm doing it. I'll just quickly do those at the end. And I know some people take off the words for, you know, Christmas, and I have the Halloween tray, I have most of the trays now. But I'm gonna keep them in. I like them, I do like it, so I'm gonna keep them in, I think. Okay, last but not least for the stitching is my Heaven and Earth Designs full coverage by Josephine Wall called Alternative Reality. This is absolutely beautiful. I've said this before, but I've resisted this piece for a long time just because I didn't want something that large, and it's created a problem because I bought now another one that's even larger. But here's what it looks like the last time that you saw it. I'm doing this on 18 count 2/1 on a gridded fabric to make my life easier. Here's what it looks like now. So I'm gonna hide behind this and kind of get you in closer. I am doing this in the Royal Rose method, but I am going a little rogue. If it means that I can finish off a thread, I will do that. Or if it means that I have a little bit of thread on my needle and I have, you know, within the bounds of my Q-snap somewhere like over here that I could drop those couple of stitches in, I will. Because A, it means I then just don't have a little, I'm very frugal with my threads. I just am, you know, not through any kind of financial reason, I just am. It means I don't have to put a little fiddly bit back on the floss drop, and it means I've gotten another couple stitches in that I don't have to do next time. but the confetti that was in the, like around these lights is no joke. You can feel the difference in thickness versus where it's a little bit more blocky. I am at a little over 10% with this. I have almost 12,000 stitches, and my goal for this is to get 25,000 stitches each year for the next 4 years, which will get me close to a finish. So I should have this done in total, well, theoretically, in 5 years is my plan. I started it in August of this year, but that is so beautiful. The colors in it are absolutely amazing, especially at the kind of at the start when she's in the fantasy world or whatever realm she's in, but I love it. So that is everything that I worked on in the month of December. So if you are not interested in haul or plans, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked the video. If you could give me a thumbs up, it really does help get the video out there to other people, and have a phenomenal 2024. If you are interested in haul and plans, this won't take long. I don't have a whole lot of haul, and I will blaze through the plans, I think. So for my haul, I have purchased a couple of patterns, as I mentioned. So I have the reindeer, try to get this without the glare, by Cottage Garden Samplings. Celebrate Summer by Madame Chantilly. Or Celebrate Autumn by Madame Chantilly. I love that owl, isn't he adorable? And Celebrate Spring by Madame Chantilly. So I now have all the seasons of the trays, and then Christmas and Halloween as well. Easter doesn't call to me, Valentine's Day doesn't call to me, so I think I'll just have these, but who knows if my mind will change. So those are the patterns I bought. This is all from 123 Stitch. I also picked up some, I'm going to try the 25 count again for a full coverage. I needed a bigger piece than I had, unfortunately, but I am going to give that another try. I think in the Royal Rose method as well, but that's for later. And then I have my Fabric of the Month clubs. So I am in 2, the BeStitchMe one, as you can hear since I talk about it so much, and Under the Sea fabrics. So Under the Sea fabrics, I get a 32 count lugana. This is the most recent one. This is called Pea Flower Tea. It's a beautiful purple, kind of more lavender, like a deep lavender, I would say. A French lavender, maybe. So pretty. No plans for that yet, but I think, you know, a Mirabilia would look good on that. Next up is 2 of the BeStitchMe's. It's the November, which came a little late this month, well, in November, and the December Fabric of the Month. So November's Fabric of the Month, I get the 40 count Verdal, is Macchiato. I'm in her neutrals club. So, I mean, great. There's so many things that could be used for this. And then the December Fabric of the Month is Into the Veil, which, let me hold it up against something white. It's like a green, kind of similar to Boneyard, but more greeny. And I think I might use this for the winter tray of Madame Chantilly's. I just think that the kind of muted green looks really good for a wintry piece. So that's that Fabric of the Month. That is my haul. I haven't gone hog wild in the last couple months. I'm trying to control myself a little bit, but I do buy when I want to buy, I'm not gonna lie. So now let's talk about plans. So for the month of January, the Whip Go numbers are 19 and 22. For me, 22 is diamond painting. I do have diamond painting on my Whip Go board because I need to, it doesn't call to me as much as it used to, but I do have things that I purchased and I want to get done and just get them done so I can, you know, have them out of the way. So that is on my Whip Go. And then number 9 is Wicked Witchcraft from Autumn Lane Stitchery to do 1,000 stitches. And that's a very blocky piece. It's only got, I think, 5 colors. So that'll be, you know, very, very easy for me to knock that out. I might try and do a little bit more. That piece has been languishing for over a year and I do want to get it done and out of my whips so I can add more whips. My other plan is, you know, it's January 1st. That means new year, new start. So I am contemplating and tossing up between 2 I'll probably end up doing both. It's just which one will I start first. I want to do a fancy lady. I don't have a fancy lady on the go at the moment. So I want to do Persephone by Mirabilia. She's my oldest one of like the patterns that I've purchased. I'll throw up a photo of what she looks like. Absolutely beautiful. And I do love the Hades and Persephone myth, which I think is what drew me. I mean, it's a beautiful piece, but I just love that myth as well. So I already have the fabric for her and most of the floss. I can always run out to Michael's, and if they're open today, I haven't even looked, and buy the floss that I need. And then my second choice is an owl forest embroidery. I'll throw up the photo of what it looks like. Hyperbora, something like that. I have the full kit for this. I did purchase the kit, and it looks, that's the one that's kind of calling to me a little bit more. I've also started doing, whenever I buy paper patterns now, I rechart them into Stitch Fiddle, which is Pattern Keeper compatible. So I have the Mirabilia, all the Mirabilias that I own, a Bella Filipina, the Owl Forest embroidery, these trays, not all of them, I'm still working on them, are now Pattern Keeper compatible for me, which I think will change the game in working on a Mirabilia. So that might be why I want to give that a go, because I have it in Pattern Keeper. So, but you know what? It's worth the time and the days that it took me to chart to chart these things in, because it means that I just work faster from digital than from paper. And I find I make less mistakes with digital, especially when you have things that go across pages, because I find that, you know, I just miscount, even though it clearly tells you the shaded areas above and, you know, whatever it does, I just find that I miscount, and then, you know, I'm having to fudge or rip things out, and I stitch better from a digital copy. So it was worth the time for me to chart that into Stitch Fiddle and have it digitally available for me. So I now don't think I'll be working off paper for anything unless I do like a Dimensions kit. And I think I would leave that paper because there's just so much intricacies of 4 strands, 3 strands, half stitch, 10, you know, all of that. So I would leave that alone. If I ever do a Dimensions kit, that is. But those are my thoughts for sorry, Flosstube, itchy nose. For my new start, either Persephone or the Owl Forest embroidery. I also will be working on my alternative reality for the 2,000 stitches a month. I want to give it my Halloween Quaker for the 1,000, I think it's 1,005 per month I need to get. I will do that, and then kind of just stitch what I want when I want. I actually also do want to try and finish the little butterfly elf to get that done. The birthday is in March, so I would like to get that done to give myself enough time to get that fully finished without having to feel rushed. Because who likes to feel rushed when you're giving a piece away? It just makes it just unnecessary stress, and I don't want that. But those are my plans for January and kind of a little bit of the longer term goals. Again, thank you so much for watching. For all of my new subscribers, welcome. Thank you again. I am close to 1,000 subscribers, so I think once I do get to 1,000, I might do a giveaway. I have some patterns that I've finished, you know, of like hard copies that I'd like to share the love. There's no point me keeping these things. I'm either not going to stitch them again, or even if I am, like I said, I've put them into a digital copy, so I have that if I do want to stitch it again. But thank you so much. Happy New Year to everybody. Merry Christmas for those who celebrated Christmas. I hope you have a phenomenal 2024, and that it brings you everything that you wish for in life. But thank you again, and bye.